we're going to leave it there with the fiddling. Welcome back. I am Fiddlin' Johnny, and this is my fiddle channel, and also Magic Review. In case if you don't know that song, that is called On Eagle's Wings. I typically don't do, it's a sort of religious song on this channel, but I really like the melody of that song. It got some attention this week in the United States, and I thought it was a great song of hope. So, so that's why I chose it. Anyway, always glad that you are here. So today, let me tell you, you want to stick around for this review. And I'm not just saying that because it's good for the channel. If you are considering this product, there's things you just need to know. And so we are going to get into Picture by Julio Montoro in just a second. All right, stick around. Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you're here. And I know every YouTuber says that, but I genuinely really do mean it. I'm glad you're here. I hope these videos are helpful for you. I really started this review channel because I wanted to do what I was looking for. And I found myself every time I was looking at a product, I wanted a good, honest opinion about how good that product was and was it worth the cost of it. So that's why I started, and I perform magic professionally, and so I'm often looking for stuff that is that I can put into my own working repertoire. So, and sometimes I'm just curious how things are done, so I purchased it because I'm curious. So anyway, that's my long-winded way of saying I hope these are helpful for you. I hope everyone's doing great. We're still in the middle of COVID. I'm feeling like I can't wait till we're back to normal so I can get out and perform in front of people rather than sort of doing these little Zoomy things and virtual stuff. I'd much rather interact with people live and in person. So, but until then, you know, I hope everybody is staying safe and taking good care of yourself. So, all right, enough of me rambling on. Let's talk about Picture. I want folks in the community to know about Picture because there's some great things about this product. It's not for everybody, but I want to have it on people's radar screen. So it's Picture by Julio Montoro, and it's based upon an idea from Josh Janousky. I'm a Josh Janousky fan. I think I like his thinking. He's a really good creator, I think, within the community, someone you should always sort of keep on your radar screen. So it's based upon that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and open this up, and I'm gonna show you what you get. I'm going to be careful not to reveal the password and stuff, but you're gonna get in a little envelope just like this. In here is your gimmicked card, and then you're also going to get this right here, which is glue. It's a glue stick. You're getting a Scotch glue stick. So, and the reason you're getting that is because you're going to have to make another gimmick or more gimmicks, or it teaches you how to make more gimmicks if you want more than one gimmick. I'm going to go ahead and show you the gimmick and talk about the effect. So I don't know if this is in frame. So this is actually the gimmick I received. Very exciting with me pulling it out. The nice thing about the gimmick is that you can show it freely in front of folks just like this. And mine is the 8 of spades. I can go ahead and fold up the 8 of spades, hold it right there at my fingertips for you to see, and then just go ahead and open it up. And when I open it up, it has magically changed into the Queen of Diamonds. So pretty cool. You can toss it around freely. I'm very good at card tossing, obviously. Toss it around freely and feel pretty comfortable with it. So that is the gimmick. That's the effect. It's made out of bicycle cards. I got a blue back. I didn't get a choice. They sent me the blue back version of the card. So what you really get here is, while they're going to teach you 3 different routines on this product, essentially it's a transformation. It's a transformation of one card is folded up and becomes a different card. You can figure out what routine you want to do with that. One of the routines on here is basically another way of doing Wayne Houchin's French Kiss. And the French Kiss is where two cards are chosen and or signed, and then they're put in each other's mouths. You get close, and magically they have transposed into the opposite person's mouth. That version with Wayne Houchin's, it's all done with through sleight of hand. This version essentially is done with little to no sleight of hand, and is done all with a gimmick. So that's sort of the difference there. And if you don't like doing the sleight of hand in Wayne Houchin's version of it, you can do it this way. But with that said, this is where ad copy is really important. For retailers, I'm going to talk to retailers for a second. If you're a retailer, I would say this really should be billed as an intermediate level rather than a beginner level. The truth is, how to do this is as easy as literally as you saw me. I obviously didn't use any slides because I didn't need to do any sleight of hand. I simply folded the card and unfolded it, and it changed. If that's all you want to do, that's great. But if you're going to actually be performing a real routine, you're going to know how to do some sleights of hand. So, and you're going to need to, depending on what routine you're doing, but essentially you'll need to know how to force a card. Most people, even beginners, will know how to force a card. But sort of choosing what your favorite force is. If you don't know a force, he teaches a force on here. And you think, oh, I know every force there is after a while. But he taught a real basic force that, quite honestly, wasn't really on my radar screen. And it was good. I liked it. So anyway, so there's that sort of thing. There's a swizzle, what do you call it? A color change or swivel change in there. You will know how to do, it helps if you can do a top or a bottom change, those sorts of things. So there's a number of different routines that I think if you're really doing this and you're building a full routine, you're going to need to know sleight of hand, some sleight of hand. So, and most of the sleight of hand, in my opinion, would probably bring it up closer to an intermediate level. So if you're a beginner but you want to stretch and go to something that stretches your skills a bit, you know the gimmick will do the work for you initially, but routining, you'll have to build some more sleight of hand skills, essentially. So I think that's something that's really important for folks to know. So since the video is, and I don't know if I mentioned this, that the video is 24 minutes long. So that's it. In that 24 minutes, you're going to get, in the first 8 minutes, you're going to get the gimmick, what's in the package, how the gimmick works, and how to construct the gimmick. That's all done in 8 minutes. So that should tell you right there that you're not getting this great depth of instruction. But the truth is, like, if I wanted to show you how this works, if you don't know how it works, that takes all of 1 minute, maybe even 30 seconds. How to construct a gimmick, the gimmick construction, I'm just going to tell you because you probably can figure it out, but I want folks to know this if you're considering it. If you're going to purchase this product and you want to build your own gimmick, you're going to have to know how to do card splitting. And if you've never card split, I think in the beginning it's a little bit hard, to be honest, to get it really nice. It takes practice. So you have to be willing to take the time to do card splitting and then constructing the gimmick. Which, you know, depending on, like, I find every card splits a little bit different. And depending on whether it's a USPC card versus another brand card, they all split a little bit different. And so if you're new to card splitting, don't be afraid of it. Everybody can do it. Don't get frustrated. Everyone takes a little bit of time to learn, and for some it'll come real fast, and for others you might struggle a lot. When I first started doing card splitting, you know, I was going to Goodwill and buying cards that were old and I didn't care if I destroyed them because I'd got them real cheap. But sometimes older cards don't split as well. So your newer packs of cards, I think, split better, at least for USPC. So, you know, you've got to just learn how to do it. If you don't want to split cards, but you want to do the effect, you can always purchase split cards already. So there's retailers out there that sell them, and you don't have to do the work. You can pay the money and get it, which is, I think, is just fine as well. But those are one of those things that I think if you're considering this product, the ad copy does not tell you about card splitting. If you want to build your own gimmick, this gimmick will eventually wear out or get old and grubby, and you'll want to build a new one, and you'll need to learn how to do card splitting. So in order to construct your gimmick, the gimmick construction is easy, I think, once you get through the card splitting piece. So I'm not revealing the method. By revealing that, I am simply revealing what you'll need to know if you're considering it and you want to be able to do the French kiss in particular. The French kiss will require a second gimmick, and which means that you'll likely, rather than paying an additional one of these to buy another one, you'll probably be cheaper just to either build it yourself or purchase split cards and build it yourself. So that's what I want you to know. When they do teach the card splitting, there's no talking on it. It is simply visual and then text on the screen with what is occurring or the step to take in the card splitting process, which I think is actually fine. I don't feel like I need lots of talking on it, and you can find tons of videos on YouTube with card splitting. All right, I probably talked about that ad nauseum at this point. He really does this, Julio Montoro, kind of as a packet trick or wallet trick, that he packs typically 2 cards in his wallet, both gimmicked and ready to go. And so from a pocket space point of view, you know, it takes up little to no space at all, and he carries it in his wallet. All transposition effects, essentially. Card changes from one card to another, or switches from this location to this location, and vice versa. The instructions are actually really pretty good. They're shot wonderfully. It's a beautifully shot, high definition video done in his living room, or what appears to be his living room. And I think Julio does a really nice job. And I like that Julio talks about it as a worker. I think it is a worker. And I think it's a worker from the intermediate magician level rather than the beginner. If you're at intermediate level and you want to do a nice routine with it, I think the method in this is really good, and the routine is good enough. Or you can figure out for yourself how you would want to build a routine, but that will involve more probably intermediate level skills. The gimmick's great. This is a really nice gimmick. I thought it was exceptionally nice, to be honest. Like if you're building your own gimmicks from split cards, at first at least it takes work, and this one came really sweet, to be honest. So I felt really good about the gimmick and the time that it takes for them to hand make these, and at the cost point, I really appreciate it. I thought it was nice, but it will wear out, and you'll have to build your own gimmick at another time. So let's see, what else do I want to tell you about it? The nice thing about the gimmick is self-working, and that's nice. It does require some audience management, which sort of gets me into the pros and the cons. On the cons on this, you're not going to be able to have your audience member hold the cards. They could hold them in the folded state, but the unfolding I would do as the performer. And when I'm done with the trick, I'm not going to hand them the card back, because if they hold the card for any amount of time or are curious about it, or they put heat on the card, they're going to figure out how this works quite easily, to be honest. So just know that if you know, earlier versions of some of the routines on here are done with sleight of hand, but you end clean. With this version, you do not end clean. You do have to make sure that you're cleaning up, and they can't touch the cards. You could do a card switch, and you know, if you feel comfortable doing a card switch, no problem. Easy peasy to do, and not a bad thing to consider if you don't want to do it the other way. So I do think it's a strong effect. I think if you're a worker, this is a worker type of routine. And so let's talk a little bit about the cons. You know, I always, for the cost, I always want more instructions. So at the price point, I feel like, what did I say earlier, 24 minutes of instruction, or whatever it is, it's just not long enough. I'd like a little bit more. I got what I needed, but at the price point, I feel like we live in an age where it's so easy to share what your experience is more at performing it. What are more the nuances of performing it? So I would have liked a little bit more of that. But the truth is, I got what I needed to be able to perform it. I think ad copy should say that it's intermediate, and I went to a couple sites and some advertise it as intermediate, but others do not. The routine of French Kiss, which is Wayne Houchin's routine, one that he came up, he's credited in this, so nice job to Julio Montoro. He really does a good job of crediting that. But it's just basically, it's another version of the French Kiss with the routine in, or one of the, I think, the main focus of this. So something to consider which version you'd like to do. There is no full uncut performance, and I'll totally cut slack on that right now since we're in COVID. And I can't imagine anyone wanting to perform French Kiss in a live situation currently. So not until we're done with COVID will that be a reality. Let's see. If you saw the trailer shows a blank card being changed into a different card, a face card. You're not going to get a blank card, or certainly I didn't, so you'd have to make your own if you wanted to do that. Let's see. I think at this point, in terms of who's going to like this, I think for magicians who like to do close-up, if you like to do strolling magic, if you are someone who does bar magic, perfect in those scenarios. I think those work well. If you do social media magic, I think you could do a simple performance of what you just saw me doing in some sort of very short social media type of presentation. I definitely think it has a place there. So the cost for this in the United States is $29.95. And I think you just sort of have to figure out, you can watch the trailer. The trailer, I think, adequately reflects what you can do routining wise. You saw in terms of how simple it is at my fingertips, and if you can figure a routine that you can do, and at $29.95 US dollars, if that's a good price, then I say go for it. If you're a working professional and you're working it into your routine, I think it makes perfect sense. That's a great cost for something that you're adding to a paying gig. I am confident that there are other things that I am not including in this video at this point. So now I'm going to go to my coffee sponsor. Okay, I don't have a coffee sponsor, but I do love my coffee. But gives me a chance to think about what else do I want you to know. I think I have mixed feelings about this. In fact, I watched the training video twice. The first time I watched it, and I do this with all of them, I got it, I opened it up, I watched the video, and I felt irritated and bothered by it. I felt like, for $30, this is what I get? And then I slept on it for a couple days, and I ruminated, to be honest, for a couple days, and trying to figure out why the hell was I so irritated by this product and what was bothering me about it. And I go through a couple things. Magicians, talking about myself, sometimes are overly critical, I think, at times, when we see something go, it's that simple, and this is what they're selling. But the truth is, the layperson doesn't see it the same way as a magician sees it. And I think when I erase that out of the equation, it's pretty powerful. The effect is strong. The layperson doesn't have any idea how it's done, despite its simplicity. So I can kind of erase that out of there. When I watched the video, training video the second time, which was like 4 or 5 days later, which is about how long I've had it now, I think. I have to admit, on my second viewing, I couldn't understand why I felt so irritated the first time by it, and feeling like I got a little bit ripped off by this. But after watching it a second time and watching it with a different set of eyes and time to think about it, it really grew on me more. So, which I think for you, from a viewer perspective, sometimes when I do these videos, I have a different opinion about a product a month later, because I've played with it more, I've used it more, I might have actually performed it, and so it evolves. And sometimes it can go worse, like, yeah, I said way too many nice things about this and didn't deserve it. And other times I go like, I think I really undersold it. So for me on this product, since I've been ruminating on it, I have mixed feelings on it. It's good. It's not bad by any stretch. I just want folks to know that I think it's intermediate. You'll have to know how to card split. Don't be afraid to card split. There's a learning curve on that. And I think it has a lot of potential to create your own routines. All right, I hope that's helpful. That's it for now. I hope everyone's doing well, staying healthy and safe and all that stuff. The sun is coming out here. Hopefully you can tell that all of a sudden. I hope the sun's coming out wherever you're at. So anyway, I'm Fiddle and Johnny, and I hope you keep fiddling around with your magic. I'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.